Yes.
As this is, today my talk is TKA failure. Now the before trend of the failure of the TKA. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, shall we start? This is the trend of the number of arthroplasty, the knee arthroplasty. In every country, in the number of TKA is increasing. This is the Sweden, is dramatically increased, and UK and steadily increased, and also in Japan, increase up to around 100,000 maybe in the annually in the nowadays. So and this is a revision rate of national from the national registry. This is the graph of the New Zealand, the survival rate. And in the most registrators show that the approximately 5% of the revision rate after 10 years the TKA operations. So this is quite stable and similar in the every countries. This is a trend of the revision rate. In the Sweden registration data, how the very old data, and the previously 1970s to the mid 80s, the revision rate was very high. 10-year revision rate was 15%. But then after the late 80s and this rate decreased dramatically. And after the 2000, the revision rate is very, very stable, less than 5% after 10 years. And even the 20 years, the revision rate should be a little bit higher than the 5%. It is quite stable. And this is similar in the UK. The UK has, after the 2000, after the 2000, the revision rate is very, very stable, approximately 4% after 10 years. Maybe this is similar in our countries. Unfortunately, we have no exact registration data so far. But in our hospitals, revision rate should be the less than 5%. Maybe this is a one standard of the 5 or less survival rate after arthroplasty. But this is a very important cause of revision. So the main registration rate show that the most frequent cause of revision are infection and loosening, followed by wear, instability, and pain. But percentage is quite different among the countries. For example, in the New Zealand, 1/5%, 20% of the patients are revised due to the pain. But it is very interesting. And similar in Australia, 80%. But in US and Japan, no patient revised due to pain. On the contrary, instability is a little bit frequent in UK and Japan, but no case in New Zealand. Well, maybe this is a classification and the statistics is different among the countries. But interestingly, the infection and loosening is the two major cause of revision. This is this is a Sweden data. It's similar in the infection and loosening is the most frequent. Now we focus on the infection. And this is the trend of the cause of infection. Revision. This is the data in 2002, around 10 years ago. Interestingly, most frequent cause of revision was polyethylene wear. But this is the same hospital data from the same author. There is dramatically reduced polyethylene wear. There is virtually no wear. But on the contrary, loosening and infection increased. This trend is similar in other reports. This is his data. I'm sorry, Chanta? Yes. I'm sorry. This is other data. This is the same hospital as the previously I showed that. This is they compared the data in 2002 and 2012, so 10 years later. So loosening and infection increased statistically significantly. But on the contrary, instability after fibrosis, that means the stiffness and polyethylene wear and malalignment and extensor mechanism deficiency. Okay, this is decreased significantly. Similarly, this is the national data, national registration data from the US. Similarly, and the number of the revision due to the infection is increasing by time. But this is the New Zealand data. This is the deep infection. Blue one is the deep infection. Slightly increased, but very different the time to time. So, for example, 2017, so many infections, but next year, 2018, not so many patients decreased. It's very unstable. This trend is similar in Japan. This infection rate is different among the year. So not have a clear trend. Increasing, decreasing, maybe the average should be same, but it is different among the years. But on the contrary, in this short period, polyester wear is decreased. And similarly, dislocation and instability decrease slightly. And loosening is increasing. Maybe due to the decrease of polyester wear, the percentage of loosening and infection can increase relatively. Yes. So, but very, very limited reports show that infection is decreased. This is of Taiwan data in our very high volume center. This trend is decreasing. But this is another data from the Taiwan. The percentage is the very stable revision rate due to infection is between the 1% and the 2% is very stable, but absolute number of TKA is increasing. So this increasing of number of the arthroplasty means the number of the infection, absolute number of the infection is increasing and increasing. So it has a very a significant impact on the economic or medical situation because the patient to treat that needs the treatment of the infection needs the long hospital stay and the high cost for medical care. So that can affect a very severe impact on the medical economy. So in addition, the bacteria spectrum of the bacteria is changed. Previously, the Staphylococcus aureus is the main cause of the revision, but recently, the percentage of gram-negative bacteria is increasing, especially in the early phase of the revision. So the number of the infection and the change of the bacteria is a very severe problem because these bacteria are difficult to treat, so they can prolong the duration of the treatment. Okay, and similarly, it is a trend of this one, the multi-resistant organism. Multi-drug-resistant bacteria is increasing. This is the public data, or maybe this is the European data. This is the trend, and this is the orange one is the MRSA. The reason is unclear, but the number or percentage of MRSA is decreasing in the last several years, but very, very complex bacteria is increasing. So this is makes a very severe promise in many countries. So in our country, the similar. There are so many very, very difficult bacteria increasing. There are very few simple Staphylococcus aureus is occur. So the most one MRSA or other type of multi-drug resistant bacteria is the main cause of the infection. Okay, the next is polyethylene wear. This is dramatically decreased. Maybe this is due to the improvement of polyethylene. So it can decrease the wear related to failure in the arthroplasty. This is the New Zealand registry data. It's the 2003. Sorry, this is the first generation. That means the non-cross polyethylene. After the second generation, that means the high cross-link polyethylene is after the installation of the cross-link polyethylene. The revision rate due to the polyethylene wear decreased significantly. This is a graph of the usage of the cross-link polyethylene. And this is the percentage of cross-link polyethylene is increasing. That can decrease the revision due to the polyethylene wear. And another study showed that the similar data. With the early and recent cases that show the percentage of the usage of cross-link polyethylene. Its early case is the no usage of the cross-link polyethylene. It is a high revision rate due to the wear. And this is another data